Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Thanks for bearing with me with making some changes. I'm going to try to get a new intro put together. I am going to retire the one that I was previously using as it's been a while and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for that. But in the meantime, this is my intro. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. So do you ever fall into a rabbit hole? You know, when you see something online and you're like, oh, that's totally what I was going to do. Maybe not. I don't know. You know how you start reading something and you're like, oh, that's the direction I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to read. And then you sort of end up like, it takes you into like something else where you're like, you Google like cookies and then you find a recipe and then that takes you to an advertisement for a car and then you start like Googling car safety laws. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I ended up finding this. Earlier today, I was looking at, I don't even know, where was I doing this? I was online and I was reading stories and I was thinking about the sister wives. And now last night I did an interview with Melissa Ellis. Melissa Ellis was she's from Sound Choices Coalition, which is an organization that helps individuals with education and advocacy for polygamy. And she and Kristen Decker, who is the founder of that organization, help women and people that are leaving understand more about the ramifications of this lifestyle, along with they also work with the legal side of things. And I was talking with her about some things related to Meri and some of the questions that you guys had and about like, would she ever leave? Why hasn't she left? What is going on with her? Where is she? Like, I don't understand this. And, you know, she basically explained that, you know, unless Meri really is willing to cut ties with everything and walk away from everyone, it's really unlikely. Like a lot of people just stay there because they don't feel like they have a choice. They don't feel like they have a voice and they don't feel like they can leave because of the way that the systems are designed and how she has been born into it. Her family's a part of it. Her mother is very prominent in this community. And she would really be walking away from everything. So it's not so much that she's staying with Cody, but rather staying in the community because if she did leave, she'd have nowhere to go. She would have no family. And with the way things are set right now, she can, you know, have a distant relationship from Cody, but still maintain her familial relationships. But it's been pretty obvious to people watching this season that this family is not happy. And that was another thing that Melissa brought up in my interview from last night, is that you can only pretend for so long to the public about what your life looks like. At some point, the cracks will start to show and you'll start to see the true colors come out. And she said that what we're seeing right now of Cody this season is very much who he is. And that she's met him along with other people in that community. And as far as his reputation, it's not the greatest. And he is known to be... I don't know, the one that's not the nicest. Well, he wouldn't be the only man in this world that's not nice to their wives. When we talked about, you know, why he wouldn't just let her go, she didn't really have an answer. She said that the way that things are happening right now is not common. So she said that, you know, when something like this happens and the man agrees to take her back, they will take the woman back. And they don't put these like stipulations or they take them wholly back and they forgive them. But she says that's not what's happened here. And so she doesn't understand why he didn't just let her go. She did explain the more wives he has, the better chance he has to getting into his celestial kingdom. So it could be that because he doesn't want to take any more wives. I don't really know. But she said that the way that he's, you know, really treating her in this point wouldn't be typical in this world. That once it's forgiven, you're moving on. So when I started online earlier today, I was like, I don't know, I was reading something and there was a title. It was like, Meri Brown, fans think Meri Brown is photoshopping her photos or something like that. You know, she sells LuLaRoe, and she, I don't know, LLR. I always say it wrong because I think it's funny, but you guys all tell me I say it wrong. So I say it both ways just to make you guys think that I don't know how to say it. Anyways, so I started looking at her photos, wondering about the photoshopping. Not that I cared, but you know how you see the headline, you're like, oh, I need to look now. But then as I'm looking through it, I was looking at her photos, and she looks happy with her leggings in the background. And I was like, I don't know that I see anything photoshopped here. And she's been traveling a lot, and she's like running around all the time. She's promoting all of her LuLaRoe clothing, her LLR clothing, which is super expensive. And she's always taking photo shoots of herself. And there was this photo where this is the photo that everyone thinks that she cropped, which I don't know. But it was on this photo that I started seeing comments, because this was the photo that everyone was talking about. Like, they think that she photoshopped, which if she did, who cares? Everybody on Instagram photoshops. Well, I mean, I don't really. I Photoshop my photos for my, what do you call it? My thumbnails, but I don't typically Photoshop myself. But it was on that photo that I started to notice like some comments. She really likes that pose, isn't it? With that one leg out. Anyways, I don't know what that's about. But this was what I noticed. I was like, well, that's an interesting photo. And then I saw this photo, and those were taken days apart. But then I was like, I don't want to do that story. So then I started noticing all these comments from people like, you're such a beautiful person. My heart's breaking as I watched you last night. I believe you almost feel like a third wheel. You always hang in there, but I feel your discomfort deep down. I want Cody to express his love for you and appreciate the fact that you've remained by his side. Everyone continues to bring up Las Vegas. That's history. I've been watching since day one. You seemed happy under one roof. You still have privacy. I agree with Janelle. People are like, I love the show. You look so sad while filming. I feel for you. I don't like Cody in the way he acts and speaks around you. So many of these comments. You're better than him. I really don't like the way that Cody treats you. Are you allowed to have a man in your life? It looks like Cody isn't a husband to you. You'll be so good as a grandmother. You made a big mistake, but Cody will never forgive you, and he will never love you again. His pride on ego won't allow him to, and your two sister wives besides Robin would be happy if you wasn't there. You are truly a queen. Find happiness you truly deserve. You look so sad on the show. It makes me sad. I hope you and Cody work it out. You guys look so cute together. And it's like, I'm looking through these, and there's so many of these comments. So her Instagram is basically supposed to be like to sell her clothing. And it's like, I always thought you should leave him. You're an awesome woman. I have the utmost respect for you. The things you've done for the family, you also done things on your own. Such a strong woman. After last night, you should get rid of Cody and just remain sister wives. You don't. I just watched the most recent Sister Wives, and I'm so upset by the way you get treated by him. Stop. I'm done with the show. Y'all made fun of people living in trailers. Well, okay, yeah. But it's like, you deserve it. You deserve so much more. Like, so many of these comments. And so I'm like, okay. I ended up on the wormhole for like photoshopping. And I was like, I don't want to do that photoshopping story. And I ended up in this like, wow, her entire Instagram on all of her pictures now is leave Cody. Cody's a turd. He's mad, blah, blah, blah. Like, you deserve better than Cody. And then that had me kind of thinking like, what we've seen of Meri this season is a wife that is angry, not happy. She's not. And when I asked Melissa, I said, do you think she stays around for the show for the money? And she said, in a way, yes, but it's not the way that you're thinking. She said she probably stays because of how public they are. And if she were to leave, everyone in her community and her church would know. So there would be no way for Meri to silently walk away from him because of the exposure this family gets. And so instead of like, if that were to happen, she would lose everything. So she would rather just stay because that way it's of the appearance that she's there, even though she's not. And she was talking about how there's other people that she knows that are in situations like this where wives have basically been shunned, which she says Meri has been shunned by this family. She said it's very obvious that she and the sister wives don't have much of a relationship. She also said it's very obvious that they probably are not spending very much time together. She said that, it's pretty obvious that Cody and her have no relationship. And she was mentioning how other women in this polygamy world, in situations like this, can go years without seeing their husbands. And once the woman is done having children, they just don't need that wife anymore. And they don't come around as much because they're only around with the wife that can make the babies. And so I asked her, I'm like, do you think Cody would take another wife? And she said, yeah, I think he would take another wife. And she said she's pretty sure that like there would be a woman that would want the fame that would become a wife. So when I was like thinking about all of that, I was like, why isn't Cody, because in other families, they can make the wife leave for what she did. It's ridiculous, because he can basically like cheat on her every single day. But Cody, he's the one that's like the priesthood, and he can't do that to her, or she can't do that to him. And I've heard of stories of women being thrown out for that, not forgiven by their husbands, and kicked out of the family. Cody could kick her out of the family, but he doesn't. So what is it? What are they gaining from her staying? I don't get it at all. He could easily, he could have her reassigned. He could, if he wanted. He could say to the church, like, you can have Meri, she needs a different husband. Because they do that all the time. So it makes me wonder, like, why doesn't he let her leave? And she's not going to go. It's like a power struggle between these two. And people have noticed that she has kind of a bratty attitude this week or this season, which I think is obvious because she's not getting what she wants from Cody. So she's just going to make every single other person's lives difficult. And Melissa said that her behavior is not uncommon of a first wife. She said that first wives, thank you for the interview with Melissa. You are so welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the full interview. We talked about so many things. We also talked about Robin's relationship. That was probably one of the most interesting facts of it, was that she said that Robin, the way that Cody pursued Robin, is not typical at all in this world. That if someone has made the choice to marry you, it is an ordained, they believe God has ordained that. And so this whole idea that he had to court her and prove to her that he would be there for her is not how it works. And it was more that Cody wanted her, pursued her, and once he got her, he got rid of everyone else. And that's why she said that you can feel this rift in this family. She said that the other wives didn't have that kind of relationship with him, where like Christine was sort of this reluctant bring in by, well, I guess I'll marry you. And Janelle was brought in by Meri because she was previously married to Meri's brother. And I don't think Janelle ever really wanted a marriage. She just wanted the family. She said that repeatedly. So, if he kicks her out, does it affect his heavenly standing? Yes, it does, because he has to have so many wives to get there. And the more he has, the better like eternity he has promised. And so one that's gone could affect them all. So it could be that. It could just be that he's such a narcissist that he won't. Or it could be that they both are. But Melissa said that Meri's behavior is of being very controlling. Because I was telling her, like, why does she need such a large house? Why does she need to change her mind? And she said because she has no control in her relationship with Cody. She can't control the situation. So she's going to make everyone else's life hell because hers is. And that's how first wives can be. Because they, for the longest time, are the favorites. They're the chosen ones. They're the ones that the guys want to be with. And usually all the other wives are just there for procreational purposes. But she said what happened was Robin wasn't chosen for that purpose. Robin came in at number 4 and quickly became the favorite, which she said doesn't normally happen at all. And now that the other wives are at a position where they're not going to have kids anymore, they're basically just like ex-girlfriends at this point. Which makes you wonder why, like, when Robin has been saying, like, the kids miss my son, or my kids miss their dad, like, where's Cody? Who is he spending time with? If he's not spending time with the other sister wives, is he courting someone new? Is there another woman on the horizon? Like, where's Cody if he's not spending time with Robin? And I said that Robin's relationship with him is starting to get fractured. And she said that's going to happen because he's Like, you're never gonna stay the favorite, ever, no matter what. So Meri, from everyone I've talked to, you guys, I wish I would say she would leave, but I just don't see it happening. Everyone that knows Meri, or everyone that knows like her family, says that it will never happen. And they all say that the one most likely to leave is Christine. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Christine did just up and leave at some point. But I think Christine might also just stay for the kids. I mean, she's really close to Janelle's kids. She's with Maddie this week, spending time with Maddie and Axel and Evie. I don't think that like Christine would want to give that up, and they'd have to give that up if they left. So I don't know. So it's funny how you end up in one rabbit hole after another. The new woman could be the reason why they moved to Flagstaff. Where is she? I don't know where she is. Maybe that new woman is in Flagstaff. I don't know. And then some of you guys were asking, there was some rumors about Meri saying that she lives in Vegas. I did a property record search. Meri Brown does not own any properties in Clark County, Nevada, which is where Las Vegas is located. If she were living there, according to Reddit, she would be renting, but I don't see her actually living in Vegas. She has her bed and breakfast in Utah, but she does not live there. Her address, per records of everything I can find, is absolutely in Flagstaff. But, you know, how often she actually sees her sister wives is not known because they don't live anywhere near each other. Robin and Christine's houses are like within blocks of their Coyote Pass property. And I don't even know where, I'm not sure where Janelle is in a situation into that. So, he's slithering around with another woman. Maybe he is slithering around with another woman. I like that. What do I think about? That's what I think Christine would leave. She's made many comments of liking independence since being in Vegas. I agree. Where did I find my top? I found it at Maurice's. The move to Flagstaff. Well, yes, her son is in school, but I don't know that it actually had anything to do with that. Maybe, maybe not. Hard to know why they ended up down there, but they didn't want to stay in Vegas. I mean, Cody had been saying since they moved there, if you go all the way back to the seasons when they moved to Vegas, he was saying from the beginning that they had no plans on staying there long term. So I don't think there should be a surprise. I do think the plan long term is the family wants to go back to Utah because that's where they're from. That's where their family is. Their church is in St. George. So if anything, I would see them moving back to Utah at some point. Yeah. So that's what I have. Make sure you check out my video with Melissa. It has a whole lot of information. I'll put a card at the end of this video. And I'm going to keep digging for some other content. I know you guys are super bored, so please hang tight as I wait to get to another live. And if you could do me a huge favor, if you're a member, please send me an email so I can get you in the Discord, so you can get your notifications. If you're not getting notifications for these videos, make sure you follow me on Twitter. That seems to be the best place to get notified, which is WOACB official. And what was the other thing? Please share. A lot of you have asked, like, Katie, I can't afford to be a member. I don't know how to help you. There's two simple things you can do. You can watch the ads that are in my videos and then share my videos. Have your friends watch my videos. Put them out on your social media. That's an amazing way that you can help me, is help me reach other people that might be interested in the same kind of content that you are. So if you can't be a member, that's how you can help. I appreciate all of your support. I love all of you guys so much, and I'll be back in a little while. Bye.